All right, book it. Episode 10, live with Tim. And I'm sitting here, got noise on the side, right? Because they're out here cutting grass. I did another podcast on Tuesday at 1:30, and at 1:29, here comes the crew. Here rolling off the truck right beside my house to cut the whole grass for the whole neighborhood. They're parking right beside me. And I'm like, here comes the grass cutters. They're bouncing up and down, like turbo boosting the grass. But now today they're trimming the hedges right as we're gonna do this podcast. Florida, man. It's like I can't get away from the grass cutting. It never stops. Like it grows an inch a day or something. Like
Like every day.
yeah, every day I got people out here with like power tools cutting grass. Anyway, how's it going, man?
Good. I saw news that like Florida is like the last place that like the humans went. Like they like you know how like Ice Age they had the thing and then like humans start coming over to America and they said like Florida was like the last spot that even back then like they don't
Everybody
want to
knew.
go there.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I remember growing up as a kid thinking, Australia was the harshest environment, and you never want to live in Australia because all those mean animals would try to kill you and stuff.
Yeah.
Florida's worse. Like in this grand scheme of things, Florida has all the deadly animals, the oppressive heat and humidity, the hurricanes come through, and like the traffic, people will kill you on the roads. I mean, it's just like all of the worst things of humanity in one place.
Cause like I've been to like people think they know Florida, but I don't think they know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
because we go to Florida, we're like, oh, let's go to Miami. It was like, oh my God, so fun. Or, oh, let's go to Orlando. Oh, it's like
vacation
seeing all
spots.
the good stuff. Like even yeah, so like an hour away, you're like alligator town, right? Like there's people just like make shooting alligator as a living.
Yeah, and so there was an alligator in my neighborhood that had to get removed last year. It was three doors down. It wasn't that big, but it was hiding in the bushes in the front yard. Well, like the bushes in the front.
Right.
Right. Like there was a 5 foot alligator hiding in the bushes. So they had to go outside and in the morning and saw it, call the, animal people, and they came out. Then they called the sheriff, and then it was a big deal. But last week I was walking with my dog up the street, same direction. There was like a 7 footer chilling just on the side of the road. They have these big retention ponds where the rain comes down, and then all these hard thunderstorm rains. They go to the pond, and that's where the alligators will hang out. So on a hot day, it just crawled up on right beside the street, chilling on right beside the sidewalk where we were going. So the whole neighborhood was like, "Hey, look, there's an alligator up on this side of the street," and then everybody takes off to go look at it. And then snakes, of course, like I've seen half a dozen of these little coral snakes in my yard, but I haven't seen them for a while. They're the venomous. They're pretty venomous, but they have tiny little mouths and they avoid you. They don't really come in. One time it was on my lanai here where I'm at, and my dog. So I was kind of worried he might get bit, but it took off. It went under the house somewhere. They're just deadly creatures everywhere I look.
Yeah, that's the thing I can't get used to. Like the fact that there's so much like big non-human things like walking around Florida. Like in here, like the most we ever talk about is cicada. Like when cicada season comes, like people get so creeped out, like, oh yeah, cicadas. But I'm like, every day is a cicada day in Florida.
Oh yeah, every day. Like the bugs are ridiculous. I get bit by mosquitoes just sitting out here. I got ants all over the place. Fire ants though, not regular little nice friendly ants that are hard to get rid of. No, the fire ants, the ones that leave like a giant blister on you and itch for 3 weeks when you're done. So I'm putting down. Yeah, I got to put down more bug stuff this afternoon. Just like you're fighting the fire ants. The good snakes are like the black racers. I got a bunch of these snakes. The good ones will attack the bad ones, like the coral snake and the copperheads. So I like the good snakes. I got hawks flying all over me. They help me too. They protect me from the bad snakes.
It's kind of crazy. Like in Chicago, we don't have that type of stuff. But like the animals we have are like pigeons. Like there's so many pigeons. Like there's no pigeons in Florida, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of doves. There's tons of birds. It's
Right.
seasonal though, because they fly here for the winter and
Right.
fly back.
Yeah. Like I think the pigeons here, they're like permanent residents.
Yeah, we don't have pigeons like you guys have, nah. But it's crazy the number of birds that you see throughout the year. There's these wild looking egrets, the ones that are stand up tall, with the skinny legs, seabirds, all the cardinals, the blue jays. It's just like bird paradise. And it's so freaking hot right now. I mean, it's got to be 100 degrees right now, humidity where I'm sitting. No breeze. What's it like there?
Uh like you can wear a t-shirt.
Oh,
Like it's fall time right now, so it's pretty nice. Like the humidity went away.
mm. So
So
70s or something like that, maybe.
yeah, like low breezy. Um not not too hot. I mean, not too cold where you feel like okay, you have to put on a jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the perfect time of the year. We don't
Yeah.
get that. That Florida doesn't get that. At least this part of Florida gets no fall.
Yeah.
We'll go. It'll be like 90 degrees Halloween night. People will be walking around. Kids will be walking around sweating to death, trying to get candy from people, and it's like 90. Like there's no. You don't get that feeling of fall. The leaves on my tree out here fall off in January. So there is a winter. Like there's like 2 to 3 weeks of this winter
Mhm.
season, but there's no fall to speak of. The leaves will just all fall off in one day, and then that's it. That was fall.
Yeah. I like the I like the little reset that Chicago has. Like every year there's like you go through it because I feel like you know how people love like California weather, right? But you go there and all the buildings there are faded like because it's like been cooked in the sun like 24/7. You know, like
Yeah, that's how it is here too. It's always sun. The sun just kills everything.
yeah, it just yeah, like
I
yeah,
think
I
that's probably why people didn't come here to Florida because it seems good on paper, right? Like, hey, a lot of sunshine, but you need the downtime. You need winter to feel like winter. You need a fall to like calm down. When the days are shorter, you want to get a little more sleep and stuff.
yeah.
No, it's always sun. That's why people are crazy here. I think our brains get cooked from the sun, essentially.
Like Um, my friends' parents are starting to be in like retirement age, and
Yeah,
they always like, okay, we get a place in Florida, but they buy a place, but they kind of don't live there. You know, they
yeah,
kind of buy it just to be like, okay, we have a place so we can not pay state tax, and
right.
then they don't spend time there.
Yeah, it's overrated. I mean, Florida's. Some people get it. Like it's. It used to be cheap. It used to be like a place you could retire, and you just live the Florida lifestyle where it was free and easy. But it's not so much like that now. Anyway, what else going on? No UFCs this weekend. It looks like week off for Labor Day, and then we've got a couple of bad fight nights before we go to another pay per view.
Yeah. I don't even watch UFC anymore. Like I don't follow the news. I check less and less of the news because I it's not grabbing my attention, you know.
Yeah. In fact, so I'm glad you brought that up because the only news I saw all week in all of my feeds, I've like deleted and cut ties with a bunch of people. Actually, I mean, like I don't follow them anymore.
Yeah.
So like that's how I used to keep up. Is I'd follow some MMA person or news. But I saw Dana White announcing that he was leaving DC on his private plane, and they had worked out a deal for next year. Did you see this?
No.
So Dana, it might have been yesterday or the day before, he said he's worked out the deal with Trump, and they're going to do the July 4th White House show.
Hmm.
They're just wrapping up details, but that it's gonna happen. And they don't have. I mean, I know that everybody's going to want to be on this card, but obviously no fighters announced. What do you think about that one?
Uh like like Mortal Kombat. You know, fucking like when you were talking about, I was just thinking about Mortal Kombat, like Trump is like sitting there and then they're like fighting in front of him.
I can see. I was thinking like Gladiator. Trump's going to give the thumbs down, and somebody's going to get their head chopped off or a knife in the back, and that's the end. The crowd is going to go wild. Connor's going to want to be in it. He's a big Trump fan. John Jones, but I have no interest in seeing them either one of them ever fight again. I don't it, like it shouldn't be a spectacle at the White House political. I mean, it's really driving the whole company further to the hard to watch zone.
Yeah.
Especially since Trump now is threatening to go to Chicago. Like, have you been watching any of that?
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where I feel like everybody is just watching the slow motion catastrophe. Like we're like, that's funny. He's gonna do a UFC show at the White House. It's just like Idiocracy. It's just like Mortal Kombat. Like it's absolutely degrading the president of the United States, the White House, and everything that has come before it in the last 250 years, and further alienated, half of the country by doing this. So let's celebrate our 250 year because next year is 250. 1776 plus 250 is 2026. So they're setting this up for the 250-year celebration, and it's just like a comic. It's like farcical. But I don't think Dana sees it that way, and I know Trump doesn't. But it it's I don't know, like turns me off the whole thing. They make a lot
Like
of money.
when I was watching, Foundation, like you've been watching Foundation too, right?
Yep.
Like the fact that they just skip over like 150 years, they were like, oh, this this season is like year 2000, and then next episode was like, oh, 150 years later, and they just went to a different age, and makes you think about like all the stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah, it could play out for years if that's what you mean. Like
Yeah.
that's I think that's where we're at. We're like, you remember that story about the frog, which I don't think is actually true, but people say you put the frog in the water and you slowly turn it up until it boils, the frog cooks.
Yeah.
I think we're already cooked and we don't know it. Like we are so cooked. We're about to be eaten. Like people have got us in there. They're dipping us in some ranch right now. Like they grabbed us by the legs, dipped us into ranch, and we're about to get chowed out on. But it just feels it's happening slowly, so it feels like life just goes on. But in that 150 years of foundation, like whole planets were destroyed. So a lot of people died. You can still die and be slow, right? Life goes on, but you could still be
Mhm.
the one that ends up dead. So it's weird. The whole feeling is weird. And when I think about the UFC, all I can think about is Dana White wanted the Russians to come in to open up the market so that he could get more money. But I don't know that that ever happened. But he definitely got Russian wrestlers in, and he got a lot of my connections unstable again.
Yeah,
It jumped.
yeah.
So yeah, I all I can think about with UFC is um Dana White bringing in the Russians, and he was like testing the waters for Trump. Like they are a match made in heaven. Those two are the perfect couple. They should get married, in fact, because like they both courted the Russians to help further their career. So why not at the White House event bring in Putin, roll out the red carpet, have it all Russian wrestlers, give them easy matchups so that all the Russians win. I mean, it's basically WWE
I
at the
mean, like Trump was also he was a promoter. Like a lot of people forget. Like he was a boxing promoter.
yeah,
Promoter.
yeah. I mean that's what this show is. It's a big show. I'm imagining like them having fireworks and people walking out to the stage, and there's like on the White House lawn they've got the octagon, and people walk out and they're shooting up fireworks on the side of them, just like it's a wrestling event. And then maybe like some of the finale they'll have a band out there, but the only Kid Rock playing because let's be real, there's only a couple of good famous musicians that will even show up for this. Kid Rock is definitely one of them. Kid Rock is out there, ball with the ball, the bang, fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. Here comes like a Russian guy, like Islam Makhachev. So you'll have Islam Makhachev versus like Pereira, a Brazilian fighter, or Topuria, another guy from Georgia, like outside of Russia. And that would be the funniest thing they could do. Like to celebrate America's 250, you just plant all of these Russian wrestlers to win. And the entire main card is nothing but Russian wrestlers beating Americans' asses. And Dana's cheering, and Trump is like, yeah, yeah, Russia, Russia, bro, kill him, Makachev. He pulls out his shirt. Dana's like, CCCP on his shirt. UFC special edition, CCCP gear, Venom, with a little snake head. What was the guy's name from Rocky Four? Drago. Like imagine
Mhm.
Drago. Like Drago comes out like with Makachev. He's like, hey, here comes Ivan Drago out there. He's like, I must break you. And then Rocky music starts playing, and they show the clip where Carl Weathers gets killed by Drago, and Rocky's like, no, and throws in the towel. That would be the best 250th year celebration I could think of. UFC. And at the end they pull down the logo and it's all red, like Soviet red.
What day is it?
Well, it's supposed to be July 4th, but I'm sure it's going to be a Saturday night, whatever.
Oh, like next year?
Yeah, it's going to be next July 4th,
Oh,
2026.
that's. I wonder if it will be a invite only. Like, I don't even think they can sell tickets.
Yeah, it'd have to get past Secret Service. I don't know how they're going to do it.
They have to invite only. Like, You you're not paying money. You can't pay money to see it.
It's got to be pay per view too. Like it's not going to be part of.
It's not gonna
It's
be
not gonna be
like
part of
that.
the
Should be
Paramount deal.
they just signed a deal in June, and then the very next month they were like, "Oh no, no
No
pay per
pay per view,
view."
right? Yeah, you don't get the White House one. Forget that. That's definitely pay per view.